94.5 The Peak presents Wasatch Wasps Baseball on the Peak Utah Radio Sports Network. This broadcast is powered by Q Mortgage, Terry Key, Parkwest Auto Parts, Physical Defense Stop, Wasatch Back Flooring, Napa Wasatch Auto Parts, Heber City Point Ends, Glorious Dental, and Bank of Utah. Baseball. I'm asking you. Now let's go live to the Diamond for play-by-play coverage of Wasatch Wasps Baseball on 94.5 The Peak.
Well, it's round three. Wasatch is coming back from yet another lightning delay. Currently trailing 7-3. Going to go ahead and throw it over to Tyler, and he's going to kind of get us caught up on where we're at. We're still in game one.
I'm curious what you mean by round three, Tyler. It's the third game of the day. Well, I know what you mean. It's starting the third time. It's our third game of the tournament. We're in the third inning. This is our third time starting this game here, as we've had a couple lightning delays. And so let me get our listeners reset. If you're joining us, here's how the day was supposed to go. Wasatch was supposed to have a doubleheader today against Juan Diego at 2, and then Pineview at 4. We're in the bottom of the third inning against Juan Diego right now. So we're still in game number 1, as we've had 2 lightning delays. Per UHSAA rules, you have to take at least a half-hour delay where everyone has to leave the field. Totally leave, not just go to the dugouts, you've got to leave entirely. So that really makes it at least a 45-minute delay where you've got to come back, get warm, loose, and all of that. So we're way behind here, Tyler. We're in the third inning. Here's how the game's gone so far to get you caught up as we're getting ready to get set underway. Wasatch scored 1 in the top of the first. Pineview got 2 in the bottom of the first. Wasatch got 2 in response in the top of the second and went ahead 3-2. Then Pineview responded by getting 3 in the bottom of the second, aided in large part, Tyler, by a couple of errors that happened with 2 outs. And Pineview took a 5-3 lead over Wasatch. Wasatch was held scoreless in the top of the third, and Pineview right now has 2 on the board in the bottom of the third and threatening right now. Our situation, bases are loaded, 1 out, 2 strikes. The number 3 hitter is up for Juan Diego right now. Ashton Gurney on the mound for Wasatch. Going to try to finish this one off and see if he can get the Wasps closer to getting out of this jam.
Carlson's been good. 2 singles and 2 RBIs for Carlson. The 0-2 swung on, and this one's driven to left field, and Crew's going to be able to get it, but that's going to be deep enough that a run will come in, so that'll be the third run of the inning, making the score 8-2. Nice play there from Crew Erickson. That ball was tailing, but it is a run in, and Juan Diego takes the 8-3 lead.
Yeah, at this point you're looking for outs, Tyler, and Ashton's doing a good job coming in and getting outs. Came in into the jam. Gage Sheesh started this one, and it had to come out. It's a hard task to sit for 45 minutes, come out, get ready to go again. Rain on, rain off, and Gage did a good job to keep Wasatch in this game, but now he's going to turn it over to Ashton, who's going to try to hold Juan Diego as close as he can in this inning.
Pitch goes behind the number 4 hitter, Harris. Harris had a double to the right center field gap and 2 RBIs in his last at bat. Second 2 outs, and he laced one to the right center field gap that got by Shaw and Sulzer out there on that side. Working out the stretch for the first time is Gurney. Again, runners on first and second. The 1-0 pitch comes in.
Brian, the name of this hitter again. Harris is a beast here for Juan Diego. Last time he was up, got to 2-0, really tried to pull off and hit one out of the park. Then the curveball got him. It kind of fooled him there. Interesting that this time up the curveball also got him swinging over the top of it. Coming back with a fastball, he stayed really disciplined and drove a double to the right center gap. See how Ashton wants to respond here.
1-1 goes back to off speed, too far inside. Moves count to 2-1.
Now you've shown him 2 off speeds in a row. Dangerous to go 3 straight times to a hitter with the caliber that Harris has. Also dangerous to go with a fastball on the other half of the plate here. So see if Ashton wants to try to get in on the hands, maybe something a little up and inside in the zone.
Takes one look at the good runner at second base, goes with yet another off speed. This one's elevated, fouled on the right field line. 2-2 to count with 2 outs.
Tight, good pitch there from Ashton because it was another off speed, but it changed the eye levels. Tyler, he came out different. That one was higher and breaking down towards the top of the zone, which is a dangerous pitch off speed, but it was effective because it's changing the eye levels of the hitter, and Ashton did that there very well. Also looked like Harris was looking for a fastball to come back his way.
2-2 count, active pitch here for the hitter. Gurney gets the sign, takes a look at the runner at second base. Not a big lead. Delivers. It's a fastball, swung on and fouled straight back. Keeps the count at 2-2.
You see some good balance here from Ashton Tyler. 3 straight curveballs. Now he comes back with a fastball. And because he had shown that slow timing 3 straight times, the fastball looked like it had Harris a little bit off balance, off pace. Not much. I mean, he was still on that ball, fouled it straight back, but wasn't as on balance as we've seen him over the course of this ball game.
Gurney comes set again, working on the 2-2 count for the second straight time. Double look this time, goes up in the zone, and that'll fill it up. Runners will go on the full count, 2-out count. Defensive starters again for the Wasps. Zimmerman at first, Gutierrez at second, Bucott at short, Wilson at third, Erickson, Shaw, and Sulzer, your outfielders, and Landon Carter behind the dish. The payoff. Curveball swung on deep to left field. Cool, going back. Not going to get to it. It's off the base of the wall. Yet another double for the number 4 hitter, and 2 runs will come in again. Back-to-back, 2 RBI doubles for Harris. And Juan Diego now has a 10-3 lead after 5 runs here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, they're pouring it on Wasatch, Tyler. A lot of extra base hits here for Juan Diego. Threatening to keep it going here with another running and scoring position after the extra base hit. That 2-2 ball was big there, Tyler. That ball off the fence, Crew had a pretty good read, and he got to that ball quickly, even though it got down. I'm not sure the runner on first scores if he doesn't get the head start on the 3-2 count that happened because you went full there with Ashton on the pitch before. But Juan Diego is taking advantage of all the little things right now.
Swung on and missed to Lambana. First strike of the battle on the count to the number 5 hitter. Again, a 5 spot. Lambana actually made the last out last inning in the bottom of the second. Gurney working out of the stretch once again. Delivers the 0-1. That one's too high. 1-1 now the count.
Your surprising number in this one, though, and I'm a little shocked looking back over the stats. 10-3, you would think Juan Diego has just hit the ball all over the place, and it feels that way. Only 6 hits on the game. Several of these runs have come off of errors. Wasatch with 3 errors, a couple hit by pitch.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is this inning, 3 hit by pitches in this inning alone, and a walk. They've only scored 5 runs on just 2 hits in the third inning alone. Another ball up on his own. Harris, both times he's been up, he's driven in multiple runs by hitting a double at the right time, taking advantage of those errors and those walks. Too far outside, moves count to 3-1. Just the third inning here of game 1. A couple of lightning delays have put us back about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that one's too far outside as well. So another walk. That'll be the 5th freebie of the inning for the Wasatch pitching staff. And now we have runners on first and second. Still 2 outs.
Yeah, when you say freebies, here's where we're at, Tyler. We're kind of all over the board. 4 walks on the day, 3 hit by pitches. This is the entire Wasatch pitching staff. And then 3 errors as well in the field. So you're up to 10 bases given just from freebies alone, and we're not even through the third inning yet.
And it's astonishing how close the freebie number
and the runs
correlate. Very often the freebies and the runs, especially against good teams, and you see it right here. 10 freebies on the game and 10 runs scored. Yeah, one on yanked.
Story of the game just by looking at that: walks, hit by pitch, errors, and you'll know how many runs each team has.
You go to the flip side, Wasatch with 4 freebies and 3 runs scored.
From Juan Diego. Yeah, that Juan Diego has had.
The pitch swung on. It's a lazy fly ball to the shortstop. Carter Bucott will settle underneath it, and Wasatch gets out of the inning. But 5 runs are scored on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Wasatch trails 10-3 as we go into the top of the 4th.
UCCU was offering savings certificates with an incredibly high APY of up to 4% and a variety of term options to match your specific needs. This is an incredible opportunity for people who want to build their savings. With a UCCU savings certificate, you simply make one deposit and then let your money grow and grow and grow with a fixed rate of return that's much higher than a standard savings account. Visit uccu.com to learn more or get a savings certificate today. UCCU. Love where you bank.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Beat.
Top of the fourth brought to you by Country Garden and Nursery, the only one-stop shop for everything garden and yard related. Stop on into their indoor plant shop for their plant of the month. Wasatch trails 10-3. As we go into the top of the fourth inning. 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, and 5 runs in the third is where Juan Diego has gotten their runs. Wasatch 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, and then put up a goose egg in the third. Leading off for the Wasps will be Ashton Gurney, Tad Sulcer, and then back up to the top of the order with Crew Erickson.
Well, Tyler, coming into the game, Wasatch was hitting over 450 as a team on the year. Today they're 353 in their bats, so the bats have not been the problem. This team has swung it well, and looking at a 10-3 deficit, that usually would be one you would kind of think the result is probably decided. I wouldn't go that far here in this one. This team can put runs on the board and they can do it in a hurry. They've just got to find a way to stabilize the defense and not allow cheap runs to come across. Got to get going here though with the bats. Now, you don't have a lot of time, especially a 10-3 game. You're on the verge of a mercy run rule tie, so you've got basically 6 hours to get yourself back in this ball game. Otherwise, you're on the verge of getting mercy ruled.
1-1 the count after a ball and a swing and a miss. Gurney flew out to right field in his first at bat. 2 for 6 on the season for the junior. DH'd and pitching today. Played second base in Game 2 against Park City yesterday. The 1-1 swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop smothers it, throws it across the diamond in time. 1 away for the Soaring Eagles. Juan Diego well on their second pitcher, Lavinius, a right-hander. It's good speed. Has done a good job keeping the Wasps off balance. Chet Wilson led things off with a single, but since then, line out, ground out for the Wasps. Eagle Tad Sulcer, 0 for 2 on the season. Popped out to the left fielder in his first at-bat. Quick wind-up, and the pitch is high for ball 1.
0 for 2 on the year, Tyler, but on base 500% of the time. He's got a couple walks to go with those 2 official at-bats.
The 1-0, too low, moves the count to 2-0. Mind you, this is game 1. Game 2 coming up right after this one against the Pineview Panthers. Pineview 0-2 so far in this tournament and have a stretch of bad luck. We're talking with some of their players during the last lightning break. 5 different players have been injured, seriously injured, in games. A couple of broken legs and broken arms.
Yeah,
and
pretty crazy situation there, Tyler. You're only a couple games into the season. You've already had 5 season-ending injuries for Pineview. And yeah, I kind of was wondering, well, what's the deal? Are we talking about like some kind of tough like car accident or just something like that? And no, just 5 unique events there on the field.
It's a base on balls, 4 straight balls to Tad Sulcer. That'll bring up Crew Erickson, 4-for-7 on the year. Singled and had an RBI through the 5-6 hole in his last at-bat. Walked in his first at-bat and had a run scored after stealing first, stealing second, and then scoring on a pass ball. 1 away, 1 runner on. Pitch. High and inside, ball 1. Tragan Shaw on deck for the Wasps, and Alex Gutierrez in the hole. Top of the fourth, Wasatch trailing 10-3. Lavinius delivers. That ball's low and in the dirt for ball 2.
See how Crew wants to handle this, Tyler. Juan Diego struggling to find the zone right now. Erickson, a guy that can certainly turn it loose and get you results with one swing of the bat. But at this point, you also need base runners.
With the heart of your lineup coming up, Crew Erickson's going to set 2-0 the count with the runner on first. The pitch, make it 7 straight balls from Lavenius. Having a hard time locating after getting the leadoff guy out. Now 3-0 count.
Coach Jacobson gives the take sign down there from third.
Tells Tad to shorten up his lead a little bit. No action coming on this pitch. The 3-0, and does get that one in there for a strike. Moves the count to 3-1.
You're still in your hitter's count here, Tyler. Crew in full control, can be really selective and picky, looking for one pitch in a spot. So you're looking for a specific pitch, whether that be fastball, curveball, whatever it might be.
Goes ahead and swings in the 3-1 pitch over, and that'll be strike 2.
That's a well-located pitch on 3-1, Tyler. That ball kind of down and away.
But that one's too low, and that'll be back-to-back walks. So Crew Erickson and Tad Solster now both on base on first and second with one away, and that'll bring up Tragan Shaw. Tragan Shaw with a single through the 3-4 hole in his last at-bat, also an RBI, 5th RBI of the year. He's now 3 for 9 on the season, and that'll earn a trip to the mound from the Juan Diego pitching coach. Trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your stop for one-stop shop for all gas, groceries, and goodies. Stop on in today.
Ty, this is a pretty impressive scene down here with the scenery that's around. You know, it's been on and off with the weather all day, but, you know, just 5 minutes ago, it's getting dark and cloudy again here, but about 5 minutes ago, the sun was out, and you had, just to paint the picture, you're looking across from the field into the Red Rock Mountains here in St. George, and then you go just a little bit behind the immediate Red Rock Mountains, and they're covered with white-capped snow down here, which is an unusual sight in St. George. And then on top of that, because of all the rain, there was a rainbow just floating out there beyond the baseball field as well. So you've got these stunning views down here right now with the Red Rock, the white-capped mountains, the rainbows, and then really the field looks beautiful right now. The pristine, really green grass down here with the red dirt. It's picturesque. It's a beautiful sight down here. If we could only get these dark clouds and rain to stay away, we'd be in business.
Lights are turning on here at Pineview High School. Tragan Shaw comes up to the plate. Runners on first and second, one out. Wasatch with some work to do, down by 7. The trip to the mound works. Lavenius delivers strike 1 on a fastball. 0-1 to count. Alex Gutierrez on deck for the Wasps, batting in the 3 spot. Tragan batting in the 2. Lavenius steps off the back of the mound and will take a breather as the rain begins to fall once again.
Just slightly tumbling now, Tyler.
Lavenius sets, takes a peek over at Tad Solster a second, now takes a second look. Tad hops off the pitch. Curveball, too far outside, moves down to 1-1.
And it's not the rain that's stopping the game either. It's the lightning that's stopping the game, Ty. So I'd imagine if it keeps raining lightly like this, they're going to charge on through. But it's when the lightning starts striking that you're bound to stop that game.
Wind still swirling down here at Pineview High School. Tragan Shaw wants a break. He's going to ask for it, and the umpire will award him the timeout. So the count stays at 1-1 with runners on first and second and 1 out. Wasatch trails by 7, trying to chip away here in the top half of the 4th. Too far up for ball 2, moves the count to 2-1. Ty's going to have to come out of the seat and go back on the gear and start to rain a little bit harder. Got a little bit more wind this time around.
Yeah, it makes me think the rain's going to get here quicker, Ty, with the wind blowing as hard as it is.
Lavenius, one look at Tad this time, delivers and gets the called strike on the outside corner. 2-2 now the count.
Tell you who these games are tough for are the catchers. Just in and out, hot and cold. You got balls that are hard to grip for the pitchers, so you're in the dirt. Catchers get beat up. Not to mention your hands get stiff back there and cold, and you're seeing the catchers having a hard time to handle it.
2-2 gets through the 3-4 hole. Another single for Tragan. Right fielder's going to keep this one in play, though, so that the run does not score. So we still have bases loaded, 1 out, and that'll bring up Alex Gutierrez and Chet Wilson. Back-to-back singles there for Tragan. Coach Jacobson going a little bit conservative as he knows we have a long way to go in order to get back into this ball.
Yeah, and you got 3, 4, 5 coming up and only one out. You can understand the conservative nature. However, a gamble would have paid off as the right fielder bobbled, Ty, and then on the throw-in, the first baseman didn't handle it, and it just trickled over across the mound with nobody there to get it. Probably could have scored if he would have took the gamble.
Bases loaded. Labenius goes back into the windup, taking a long time to get the pitch in. Now he'll deliver. Swung on the first pitch. That doesn't happen often from Gutierrez, and it'll be foul. And we'll go to 0-1.
Yeah, you're right. Usually Alex is patient, works the count deep. Bases loaded, though he knows there's nowhere to put him, and he was hunting a pitch that he could handle early on.
0-1 to count. Wasatch's dugout starting to get into this thing. Bases loaded. The pitch. That one's too far outside. Ball one.
You know, Ty, trivia that might be interesting here is what's the longest game in baseball history? You know, like time-wise, from start to finish, what's the longest game? I think the longest game inning-wise, they actually had to stop and go over multiple days. I think it was somewhere around 27 innings. I'm going to have to check that out. Off the top of your head, you don't remember that, do you? No. You're Mr. Sports Trivia over here.
I know that one. 2 on the count after another pitch that's up in the zone.
I feel like this one might push it for a high school record here today, because not only the delays are taking, we're already 3 hours, 3:15 into this, not even halfway through. And the teams seem to be loading up the bases consistently each inning as well, which can extend the game.
2-2 count now after Alex will foul off another pitch. So 2-2 to count, 1 out, bases juiced. Pretty good speed all around the base pass. Tad at third, Crew at second, and Tragan Shaw at first base. Lavenius back on the mound with his bright green glove. Gets the pitch, wind up the 2-2. Swung on and fouled off again. Alex staying alive. Alex struck out his last time up, walked his first time.
This pitching ball looks like it has Alex a little off balance, doesn't it? He doesn't look as comfortable in his swings today as he did yesterday. Something seems to have him just a little bit off balance. But it shows the caliber of hitter he is. Even though he's off balance, he's hanging in there and battling every at-bat he has.
The 2-2 is way high, so that'll fill up the count now with 1 out.
Another Gutierrez at-bat that goes 7+ pitches. That's going to be my favorite stat of the year. Seems like we will rarely have a game where Alex doesn't go at least 7 pitches deep.
The payoff pitch, too high, ball 4, and Wasatch has a run come in on a walk. So the bases will still be juiced with 1 out. And Chet Wilson coming up to the plate. He flew out to center field in his first at-bat, but then singled up the middle on his second. He's now 6-for-9 on the year.
Now, Chet Wilson is just the purest hitter that Wasatch has here, Tyler. He can handle the bat really well, can hit to all parts of the field. The temptation, and Chet does not do this very often, so I'd be surprised if we saw this. The temptation is to try to cut into this league quickly with the bases loaded, try to hit 1 out and make it a 10-8 game. This is not the day to do it. Cold weather, wind blowing straight in at your face, looking at the flag in center field is blowing right in at Chet. Any ball elevated in the air, you're gonna be hard pressed to get a ball over the outfielders' heads, and so this needs to be on the ground, on a line. The rain is coming down hard all of a sudden, Ty, so that's going to bring out the umbrellas.
Another trip to the mound for the pitching coach of Juan Diego. They might be seeing a change here, and the rain is going to start to really come down hard. It'll be interesting to see what the umpires decide to do here. They made Wasatch play through the rain, and it'll be interesting to see if they make Juan Diego do the same thing. It benefited Juan Diego. 5 runs scored last inning when dealing with the rain, and we'll see if they do it here. In fact, this might be a change in pitchers just to see if the rain blows over a little bit, Ty.
Yeah, not a bad strategy, actually.
Wow.
Ty, let's go ahead and take a quick break ourselves as we have a moment. Well, I guess I should look from under my umbrella. Are we back in action before? Oh, they are going to make a pitching change. So we're going to take a break here. Juan Diego pitching change. Wasatch down 10-4. Bases loaded. Chet Wilson coming up.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today and get your car hardware, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heater Valley for over 50 years.
Hi, I'm Stacy McKay, branch manager at Bank of Utah. Everyone here at Bank of Utah believes that we are an extension of our community. Not only do we craft banking solutions to help families and businesses in our area, we boost the community by proudly supporting local organizations like Wasatch High School. Because when our communities thrive, we all thrive. Come see me at our Heber branch and experience community banking at its best. Bank of Utah is an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Well, folks, spring is near, but have no fear. Country Gardens and Nursery is here for your everyday garden supplies, decor, and more. From our personal gardener to our new bulkyard, where we offer large variety of soil, mulches, and decorative rock. Come see what we have in store. Country Gardens and Nursery, 1401 South, US 189. We'll see you soon and hope to put you in bloom.
Are you ready for lunch? The Dairy King, home of the trade, is serving the best food with friends and family in the Valley. And they're the winner of Best of State for 18 years. They've recently been officially named Best of Utah for their milkshakes, and you've just got to try their delicious train burger with Warrior shake. They also have those yummy salads that just hit the spot. They've been proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. That's the Dairy King, home of the trade, serving deliciousness daily. So stop in today.
The 50s produced some great sound, and that early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The demo drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist, the Doris demo, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Doris Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
We're back at it here in the top of the fourth inning. Rain is pouring. We'll see if the Lightning stops us again. Currently 10-4 the score, but bases are loaded with one out, and Chet Wilson and Landon Carter are up for the Wasps. They've been the double kings for the Wasatch so far this season. Wasatch is Chet Wilson with 3 doubles, Landon Carter with 2. Chet in the box, facing a new pitcher, another lefty. Kind of a soft-throwing lefty compared to the starter. The first pitch is in there on the outside corner for strike one.
That's a cold weather strike is what that one was, Tyler. A little up in the zone, a little bit outside. This umpire's got interest in making the game move, and that's probably okay.
It's one strike, no balls to Chet Wilson. Bases are juiced. Tragan Shaw at second, Alex Gutierrez at first, Crew Erickson at third base. Juan Diego thought they liked that one again, but the umpire disagrees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chad back in the box. Crew Erickson a slight lead at third, and the pitcher needs to talk to the catcher. Talking about rule changes, Ty, you got pitch count rules, you got no shift rules. If it's raining, no visits, unless it's a coach. Like, let's get
Ty, for any listeners that know you, just have to know exactly what's going on. You are not a fan of cold weather.
No, I'm not a fan of just bad weather, period.
And your grumpiness, I think, is audibly coming out here. You're sick of this rain.
Curveball in there for strike 2. Moves count to 1-2.
It's a pretty good job. That was a good curveball, Tyler, coming down. Going against the best hitter here on Wasatch's team and coming right at him with your best stuff. In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain. Pitcher comes set. Good leads all around the base pass for the Wasps. Double look at Tragan, another look at Alex. The 1-2, that's in the dirt. Good job from the catcher. Smothers in. We got a 2-2 count.
I'm amazed how you can see anything right now, Tyler. This umbrella up in front of the equipment, and there's umbrellas all across the field here. And we're sitting right on the front fence. I think it's almost like you just have to be making this up.
I promise I'm seeing things. I might not be seeing real things, but I am seeing certain things. 2-2 count, 1 out, bases loaded. Chet in the box. Pitcher comes set, takes a peek at all the runners. Delivers the 2-2. Swung on and missed. A rare strikeout there from Chet, but it's a strikeout nonetheless. And Juan Diego has 2 outs here with the bases loaded. That's a big strikeout for Juan Diego. Let's going to bring up the sophomore Landon Carter. Trying to adjust our equipment around a little bit. So far, letting this one go. Landon Carter in the box. Still bases loaded, 2 outs. Wasatch really needs to put some runs on the board and take advantage of the situation they're in with guys in scoring position. But with 2 outs, the pitch. Swung on. It's a ground ball to the 3-4 hole. First baseman puts it. First baseman can't handle it. Dragon's going to come around and score along with Crew Erickson. 2 runs are in on the air by Juan Diego, and Wasatch cuts into the lead a little bit more. Score is now 10-6.
Yeah, the game knows, Tyler. You know, you felt like a couple of those runs for Juan Diego in the bottom of the third were kind of cheap weather runs. And, well, the game just returned it to Wasatch. Those 2 runs Wasatch gets there, cheap weather runs. That first baseman kind of disengaged out of it. The field is murky and wet and slippery. And Carter's done a good job just being in play and giving his team a chance. First baseman doesn't handle a pretty routine ball. Wasatch gets a couple runs.
Zach Burdett will come in and run for Landon Carter as a speed-up guy. Brings up Cole Zimmerman, still looking for his first RBI of the season. Trying to cut into that 1-7-run lead, now a 4-run lead at 10-6. The pitch with runners in scoring position, or with runners on the corners, is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Carter Bucott on deck for the Wasps. Coach Jacobson handing out some signals. Pitcher takes a look at Burdett, takes another look at Burdett. Now a third look at Burdett, high leg kick, and the runner goes, doesn't go. That ball is smothered by the catcher. Pretty good job from the catcher. Pretty sure Coach Jacobson wanted a steal there, not able to get it from Burdett. So that's now a 1-1 count to Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's when you want to go on. I know there's 2 outs, but a ball way outside in the dirt. The catcher handled it, but that's a muddy ball, then a wet ball, that the catcher's off balance. If you're on first, you've got to be advancing on that ball.
High leg kick. Burdett does go. That ball is going to be in there for strike 2, but now you got runners on second and third. 1-2 the count after the Gravity Coalition stolen base from Zach Burdett. 2 outs, 1-2 the count. Zimmerman looking for a base knock to get 2 more in with 2 ducks on the pond.
For just a moment, the rain has stopped again, Tyler. Cole's going to take a step out here, reset himself. Lefty on lefty matchup.
Zimmerman had a good barrel on his last at bat. It was a line out to the center fielder. Zimmerman 1 for 2 today, had a single up the middle and then a line out to the center fielder on a good barrel. Trying to find some grass here to try to cut into the 4-run lead. Wasatch already with 3 runs in the inning. A couple looks at Burdett. The 1-2, that one's going to be in the dirt. Another great job from the catcher. And that makes the count tied up at 2-2 with 2 outs.
Yeah, this catcher saved a couple runs this inning, Tyler, by blocking the ball and keeping it in front of him. Just looks like he's been out in the hog pen here, Tyler. The way his gear looks, all muddy and completely covered in red, orange dirt because the rain's been pouring and he's having to get down and dirty, sliding on his gear. Just totally filthy, but he's done a great job back there.
The 2-2 kills some worms again. Actually, probably have some worms coming up in this rain. Brings the count to full. So full count, 2 outs, runners on second and third. He does have a base, so he doesn't have to just feed it up here to Cole. We'll see what he decides to do. Another visit to the mound, this time from the shortstop and second baseman.
See if Wasatch can match, though, what Juan Diego's done. Juan Diego, and Harris specifically of Juan Diego, has capitalized in this type of situation. You get a few free ones, whether by errors, walks, and then it takes one guy to get the big hit. See if Cole can be that guy here for Wasatch.
Dugouts are in it. The payoff pitch is too low, and that'll load the bases. So full count, walk. Loads the bases once again for Wasatch, and that'll bring up junior Carter Bucod. Carter Bucod on the day, 0 for 2, did line out to the left fielder on a good, 0 for 1 on the day. Walked in his first at bat and grounded out to the shortstop in his second at bat.
Carter Bucod represents the tying run at the plate right now.
first pitch of the at-bat way outside for ball one.
Juan Diego's got to be getting a little bit strained for pitching as well, Tyler. You mentioned this is their final game of the weekend. And these 4-game tournaments over 2 days with the high school pitch count rules can certainly strain pitchers. The pitching staffs, excuse me. And the rules are you can't throw over 110 pitches per day or 75 pitches between 2 days together.
1-0 pitch is in there for strike one. Looked like Carter was taken on that one. 1-1 now the count with 2 outs. Ashton Gurney on deck, trying to help himself out as well as the pitcher.
Come on, Lou! Come on, Lou! Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go!
1-1 the count. The pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back, moves the count to 1-2.
Pretty big swing there from Carter, Tyler. You don't often see him open up the hips and the shoulder. And I like to say the term elevate to celebrate, right? You know, to try to get that fly ball going. But Carter had a little bit more of a lofty swing on that one, trying to drive that one deep.
1-2 count, bases loaded. Zach Burdett at second with good speed. Cole Zimmerman at first. And Alex Gutierrez at third base. Zimmerman will take, Bukata will take a step out of the batter's box, and now they'll come reset. The 1-2 count with the bases juiced. Too far outside, ties up the count at 2-2.
And that one's not close, Tyler. Carter, right out of the hand, knew that one didn't have a chance. Didn't apply any pressure on the hitter there from the pitcher. You want that ball out of the hand to be looking like it's going to be a strike in that 1-2 count situation, and then maybe breaking off the plate late and see if you can get the hitter off or at a bad pitch. That one never had a chance.
The 2-2. Too far outside again, and that's going to bring the count to full. Runners will get a head start with a full count, 2 outs. Anything through the infield has a chance to, well, for sure score 2 now, but a chance to score 3 here. Let's see if Carter can get a pitch that he can handle. Pitcher comes set. Delivers the full count pitch. Swung on. It's elevated into right field. Shallow right field. It's actually going to blow back into the infield, and the first baseman will make the play, and Juan Diego gets out of the inning. But Wasatch scores 3 on 1 hit, 1 error, but leave the bases loaded. It's 10-6 as we go into the bottom of the 4th.
You might be used to having someone answer the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limited. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want? Call Tom Stone at Gilman Agent Heber City. Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Good mortgage companies and equal housing lender. MLS 7274. All names are subject to government letter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
It's actually going to be ball game due to time. Wasatch falls 10-6 and now 1-2. Juan Diego made a little bit of a run there. Looked like they had a chance to maybe tie things up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. They fall short, so Wasatch loses back-to-back games. We'll go 1-2 now on the season. And we're going to do a quick Timberline Ace Hardware post-game show. Going to throw it over to you, Ty, for the Gordon Law Group game recap.
Yeah, Ty, what an odd game this one was. Only went 3.5 innings and had a couple lightning delays that extended it. But here's how the scoring summary and breakdown went. Wasatch put 1 on the board in the top of the first inning. Juan Diego responded with 2 in the bottom of the first and took a 2-1 lead into the second. Wasatch punched right back, though, and scored 2 runs in the top of the second and took the lead back 3-2 over Juan Diego. And then Juan Diego got 3 runs in the bottom of the second inning, all coming off errors from Wasatch, unfortunately, there. And they took a 5-3 lead over the Wasps. In the third inning, right before the second lightning delay took place, Juan Diego was able to score a few runs. They ended up getting 5 in the bottom of the third inning, and that pushed their lead up 10-3. And in the last inning, you just heard from us here, Wasatch did get a few of those runs back. They threatened to get back in that thing, actually, about the tying run to the plate there. But they fell up short, and they end up scoring only 3 runs in the top of the 4th, and they lose 10-6 to Juan Diego in what is a game that probably the coaches will look at and throw that one out almost entirely, Tyler. Just the pace, the way the rhythm of the game went with the lightning delays, the rain, hard one to really put a lot of stock into what happened exactly out here on the field. So, of course, the overall record falling to 1-2, that's going to hurt, but this game, you played this one over again, and you could definitely have a completely different result just given the circumstances of the game and how the weather unfolded. A few standout people to mention in this one. Tyler Gage Sheesh got the start here for Wasatch, ended up striking out four batters there in very limited innings. He only pitched 2 innings and struck out 4 out of the 6 outs. Ashton Gurney came in relief and pitched 1 inning for the Wasps. He only gave up 1 hit, but he did hit a couple batters, so he ended up giving up 2 runs and had 2 earned runs on the free passes that were given on the hit by pitches. But again, an awkward situation because he was doing that when it was pouring rain, windy, just a tough spot for Ashton to come in. He pitched well in relief for Wasatch. As far as batting that stands out, Tyler, a few Wasatch players in again, very limited opportunities. They only played half of a normal game, but Wasatch was still able to put 5 hits on the board and had a couple hits from Tragan Shaw specifically to lead the way for Wasatch, going 2 for 3 today in his at-bats there at the plate. So those are a few of your standout performers for Wasatch so far.
That was your Gordon Law Group game recap. A couple of quick Ty's trophies. Ty, your moments of the game brought to you by a good spot A to help turn the tide for the Soaring Eagles.
It helps turn the tide for the Soaring Eagles, Tyler, was probably the lightning delays is what happened. Wasatch was in a decent rhythm. They were leading 3-2, going into the bottom of the second inning. But you had just some stiff feet. You had some stiff hands. You had a couple errors that took place for Wasatch. Now, Juan Diego's having to play in the same conditions, so that's not a fair excuse to make. But, Tyler, the weather really was the story of the game here. Now, Juan Diego, you're going to tip your cap to Harris specifically, the big number 4 hitter of Juan Diego. He came up clutch a couple times with runners in scoring